Welcome to Frequently Asked France Questions, the series where I teach you things I've learned about immigrating to France the hard way so that you don't have to. In today's episode, waiting times. This will come as a shock to absolutely nobody who already lives in France. But when it comes to administrative tasks, there's no specific time you can expect to wait for them to be completed.
Alors, monsieur, combien de temps ça va prendre?
C'est une bonne question. Je ne sais pas. For most of us, it's a pain that you just have to sort of deal with. But the place where you live in France can actually play a role in how long things take. Most administrative things in France take place at the préfecture. This is a special government legal office, and the one that you need to report to is determined by where in France you live. There are 101 different prefectures in France, one for every single department, and they don't all have the same amount of people pushing their paperwork through them. Basically, if you move to a big city with a large foreign population like Paris, your paperwork is going to be funneled through the same system as a lot of other people. To put it simply, if you don't have to live in a big city, it can make things easier to just move somewhere a little bit smaller. If this sounds like something you might be willing to try in order to get things to move a little bit faster, that's great. Just keep something in mind. If you're applying for something like permanent residency, you probably don't want to move after the application process has already started. If you do, the French government might, probably, almost definitely make you start the process all over again at a new prefecture. From my personal experience, when I first moved to France, I lived in a teeny tiny little town in Normandy where there were more cows than people. It wasn't my first choice, but it was home. I began my residency process in November, and the entire thing was wrapped up by the following March. From what I've heard, this is almost record time. I'm not saying that this is a foolproof way of speeding things up, but it's worth thinking about. It's always a good idea to check what other people in a similar situation to you have gone through. Ask questions, get their advice, and try to make the best decision based on your circumstances. But if it's a possibility for you, just try to remember there are other cities in France besides Paris.